Hey there, this is the updated guide for the Petrified Cataclysm build. We're going to talk about the slight changes with the legendary items and aspects, and also looking into the Glyphs and Paragon board. Legendary items and aspects. So there is a slight change for the legendary aspects from the early build to mid and late game build, starting with the helm. So you can actually go for a couple of options. First option is this aspect, which gives you more survivability and more tankiness once you encounter the elites. The other choices are as follows. So becoming injured while crowd control grants you unstoppable for 4 seconds. This is a good aspect. If you don't get that one, you can use then the Cyclone Armor, which also provides physical damage reduction. In addition, Cyclone Armor will also be applied to all nearby allies. Or a third option is when you have Fortify, your Earth skills gain +2 ranks. I was using this one in the early beginning of the build, but later on I switched to the tankier version, which is this one, and I think this one is just better for tankiness overall. Another slight change is going to be the new legendaries that are going to be dropping in the mid game and late game. So you will definitely need this one for a change. So casting a Storm skill grants you Earth skills point critical strike damage for 4 seconds, and casting Earth skill increases the critical strike chance of Storm skills by given percent for 4 seconds. This is an insanely good legendary and works well with this build so damn well. Mainly because you're using like both Storm skills and also Earth skills at the same time in the mid exchange. Before you get this one, you can have like a few options, which is using either the Tornado, which will seek up from 1 to 3 targets. Another option is the Hurricane, which increases damage by that amount each second while active. Another choice for the pants is going to be the increased of the Urban Bulwark by 6 seconds. You can get this one from the dungeons. The new item that also drops in the mid game is the aspect, which is this. When the Nature's Fury key passive triggers a free skill, your non-ultimate cooldowns of the opposite type are reduced by 6 seconds. So every single spell that you're using, so basically apart from the Petrify, so Hurricane, Cyclone Armor, and Urban Bulwark will always be reducing their cooldown as long as this passive procs. Okay, let's move on. So this legendary aspect stays. Chance to, when dealing lightning damage, to overload the target for 3 seconds, causing any direct damage you deal to them to pulse additional damage surrounding enemies. This legendary aspect stays as well. So your core skills deal up to increased damage based on your amount of Fortify. Legendary aspect stays the same. So the Earth skills deal 30 or 40% more critical strike damage due crowd control enemies. This is a new one. I highly recommend using this one. So critical strikes with storm skills that you cast charge the air around you for given seconds, causing a lightning bolt to periodically hit an enemy in the area for lightning damage. This duration can be extended by additional critical strikes. So anytime you critically strike with your storm strike, you will be landing a lightning bolt on the enemies as well. And the last legendary is the same one that you are not going to change. It is landslides, earth pillars each strike a second time and deal additional damage, bonus damage per hit. So these are my recommended legendary aspects. Let's move on to the Glyphs and Paragon board. So for the Paragon board, you will be definitely going up this path up to this node, and you will be using the glyph which is called Exploit. This is one of the better ones, especially early on. So just use Exploit as soon as possible if you get lucky enough to get it. But if you don't, you can use other dexterity based glyphs on the first socket. If you get Exploit, just use Exploit. Then you're gonna make yourself all the way up to the board attachment. But I'm gonna leave it a little bit just so you see all the skills that you need to invest in order to get the additional effect. Once you have that, you will be choosing the next board, which is going to be the Thunderstruck. So your storm skills deal 30 increased critical strike damage against vulnerable or immobilized enemies. So this is going to be increasing your damage by quite a lot since you're applying vulnerability and also crowd controls with this build all the time. So you're gonna make your way up to this node first, then you can invest 2 points here and move up all the way up to the node which is called Deluge. Then you're gonna make your way up to the glyph socket. For the glyph, I would highly recommend using Spirit. you will need 25 dexterity for the additional bonus. So for the glyph, I would highly recommend using this one, which is called Spirit. You can also do the willpower glyphs here, because you will have enough points if you choose this node. But in general, I would highly suggest just going with the glyph socket, which is called Spirit for this one. And you're gonna make your way up to this node, which is called Stormcaller. It will increase your storm skill damage and also give you a beneficial 10 willpower. And you will be moving on onto this next board attachment. For the next board attachment, I would recommend going with the skill Urban Devastation. So your skills deal 30 increased damage to enemies afflicted by crowd control. So I didn't get the full 2 points here because I still haven't reached level 70. But once you reach it, you definitely will have the legendary node. So you will be making your way up to all the way here. And you will be investing a lot in willpower. The last 10 willpower points you will get from the Urban Power, so don't worry about it. And for the glyph, I would highly recommend using the human glyph. So it will increase your damage while in human form, since you're not shapeshifting with this build. So this is going to be an additional increase to your damage. And also, if you get the additional points, you will gain 10 damage reduction while in human form. So it will provide you a little bit more of the tankiness too. Next, you will be moving up to this glyph. And once you reach level 70, you will be investing your last points here. Afterwards, you'll be willing to move on to the Nether board, and you will be attaching the Constricting Tendrils as your next Paragon board, and you will be investing points into that one. But that one is going to be for another guide once I reach level 100. But as far as it goes, these two Paragon boards are definitely very powerful for this build and mid-game. Gameplay does change a bit, so you will have better chance to reduce the cooldowns of your non-ultimate skills, inflict more damage, and increase your survivability at the same time. Here's a demonstration of the build in action. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a like, leaving a comment, ringing that notification bell, and I'll be seeing you around on the next one. Have a nice day or evening, and I'll see you around. Bye bye.